shat myself. I know people have shat themselves.
Under any circumstances.
Any circumstances.
Oh,
if you don't count being a baby, right?
No, I've shat myself.
You've shat yourself.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have.
We were talking about the universe with Professor Brian Cox last week. Right.
Well, as you know, I am of the belief that anything that's happened to you can talk about and own it, and then it's not embarrassing anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
But some people don't agree.
I agree.
With that.
Yeah.
But that's how I live my life. So yeah, I've shat myself a fair amount. I'll tell you why that is not to do with drink. It's to do with food. I tend to eat loads, and if I know that something is not quite right, but I'm hungry, I'll just carry on eating it. I've done that loads of times.
No. That's what everyone does. We eat and eat and eat, and then we go to the toilet.
No, but one particular occasion, I was when my daughter was really young, and we were going, I remember, to the Bethnal Green Museum of Toys, and I didn't really want to go there. I was like, I can't be fucked to that. But basically, Morwenna, my partner,
said, I've shat myself.
No, I didn't say I'd shat myself. I didn't do that. I was.
Daddy shat himself again to avoid coming to the toy museum. I'm sorry. I've shut myself again. We can't go.
No, that isn't what happened, right? We'd gone to some restaurant near our house, and they'd served me a steak that I said, I like steak quite rare. So I said, it's not rare enough. Can I have another one? So they went, all right then. It came back. In the middle, it was frozen, right? But I was too embarrassed to send it back again. So I just ate it, including the frozen ice lolly of steak. So then we get in the car, and I remember we've had a bit of a row, me and Morwenna, and she's saying, right, we're going to the museum, and I should have said, I don't feel very well, can we go home? But I felt like, no, all right, we're going to the museum, and I'm not going to go home and go to the toilet. We're just going to go. So we start going, and I say, I don't feel very well, and then I think I'll chance a fart, right? And unfortunately, that turned out to be a shart, as I believe it's called. And I can still remember saying, I think I've shat myself. And Dolly saying, Daddy, when I need to do a poo, I hold my hand under my bum. I said, it's too late for that now, Dolly. It's too late for that. So I ended up in the Bethnal Green Toy Museum toilet, right, taking my pants off, and trying to get them down the toilet, because I thought, what am I going to do with these shitty pants?
What was the consistency of the shite?
It was quite liquid. It was really quite.
But that couldn't have been the steak you just ate.
Eh?
That couldn't have been the steak you just ate.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was something. I felt it was. Certainly. I remember saying to Morwenna, when it all happened and we were not arguing anymore.
How did you say it?
I said straight away when it happened. I shat myself, but then I said I came out of the toilet.
What did she say?
She said, "Why? Why have you done that?" And
why?
I said, "Why? Why? I thought you were an adult."
Okay, we don't have to go to the fucking toy museum. Just say next time.
So I went to the toilet. So I remember telling her afterwards, I had to go and take my pants off in the toilet, and then as a sort of to make it all right, I said that a friend of ours had come to the Bethnal Green Museum and had apparently changed lots of pants because he'd brought his children there. Changed lots of pants in the toilets at that museum. I'm sure it's happened lots of times. And she said, "Yeah, but no adult has gone in and changed their own pants. What are you talking about? The fact that your mate has brought his baby in and changed the nappy doesn't make it all right for you to change your pants."
Try and get on the nappy changing legs.
Yeah, well, I was quite tempted to use that, actually, while it was on. Anyway, so I don't know where those pants are.
What was the one
I didn't have a spare pair of pants.
What was the one when you took Dolly to the toilet when she was little in public?
Yes, when I took Dolly to the toilet, I used to do a show about fame, and that show is basically about all the really embarrassing shit that no one really talks about, except I do, about what can happen to you when you're, a bit more visible than other people and stuff. And so one thing that happened was my daughter, obviously when she was young, she just called me Daddy or Dad, but every so often she'd get confused. I don't know if your kids ever did this, and she'd call me David, right? Like just because she heard other people doing it. So I was once on Hampstead Heath taking her for a walk, and I went into the toilets, just a public toilets near Kenwood House on Hampstead Heath, and it was very packed, I remember. And you have to take her into the men's toilet because she's only 3 and she can't go into the women's toilet by herself. And I weave through all these men, and I get her into the cubicle. I pull her pants down. That's the moment she chooses to go, "David Baddiel." I remember thinking, all those men out there, they're going to be thinking, he's not her father. She wouldn't have called him as her father. That's just some bloke.
Oh, God.
It was a bad moment.
That's great. That's lovely.